Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Today we're diving into the fascinating and ever-evolving world of Ethereum Improvement Proposals, or EIPs for short. If you've ever wondered how the Ethereum blockchain continuously improves and what goes into those upgrades, you're in the right place. So let's start off with the basics. What exactly are EIPs? Well, they're essentially documents that detail standards and changes to the Ethereum platform itself or the conventions built upon it. It's a bit like the rulebook of a game, where players propose new moves or changes to existing strategies to enhance gameplay. This collaborative effort is crucial for ensuring the Ethereum ecosystem remains robust, innovative, and efficient. Before we jump deeper into the topic, it's worth mentioning a recent change. The EIP's repository was separated from the ERCs. ERCs, which stands for Ethereum Request for Comments, are specifications for application-level standards. You can find the updated ERCs repository at GitHub, and any new ERCs or updates should be directed there moving forward. It's a shift that brings more clarity to how improvements and standards are documented and communicated. Now let's talk about the categories of EIPs. Each has its own unique focus. For instance, core EIPs are about improvements to the consensus protocol, which is the backbone of how Ethereum operates. Then we have networking EIPs, which deal with the peer-to-peer connections that keep the network functional. There are also interface EIPs that standardize how users and applications interact with the blockchain. Think of them as the user manuals for developers building on Ethereum. But that's not all. We have ERCs, which focus specifically on standards for applications running on Ethereum. There are also intervals for miscellaneous updates called meta EIPs, and then there are informational EIPs that suggest non-standard improvements which don't need consensus approval. This structure helps to categorize the contributions and makes it easier for developers and contributors to navigate. A crucial part of the EIP process is the initial discussion. Before drafting an EIP, ideas must be thoroughly discussed on platforms like Ethereum Magicians or Ethereum Research. It's a collaborative effort. Once you've gathered support and consensus from the community, you can progress to drafting the EIP, guiding your efforts with well-defined rules stated in EIP 1. Now, you might be wondering how the actual proposal gets validated. All pull requests in the EIP repository undergo automated checks before they can be merged. This guarantees that standards are not only discussed and reviewed, but also meet stringent quality requirements. It's similar to having quality control in a factory. You need to ensure what's being produced meets the standards before it hits the shelves. Now let's take a beat. As we explore all this technicality, you may feel like it's a lot to digest. Don't worry. One thing to remember is that the Ethereum community thrives on collaboration, and every voice counts. So, whether you're a seasoned developer, a curious newcomer, or somewhere in between, there's a place for you. As we wrap up today's discussion, it's clear that EIPs are foundational to the evolution of Ethereum. They're not just about technical improvements. They represent a community-driven effort for a decentralized future. It makes you appreciate the sheer amount of collaboration and thought that goes into each proposal. Before we sign off, let me leave you with this thought. What proposal would you personally add to the Ethereum ecosystem if you had the chance? Think about the possibilities. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time as we continue exploring the intricacies of blockchain technology.